Imagine being capable of lifting 1,141 times your own body weight. To put that into human terms, that would mean a person deadlifting over 80 tons. No machine on Earth is engineered with that kind of strength-to-size ratio. No predator in the wild comes close. And yet, right now, somewhere beneath your feet, a creature that most people would step on without a second thought is performing exactly that feat. The most powerful animals on the planet are not lions, they are not elephants, they are beetles. And what they are capable of will completely change the way you see the natural world. Beetles are the most successful group of animals in the history of life on Earth. With over 400,000 known species, they make up roughly 40% of all insect species and nearly 25% of all known animal species. They have colonized every continent except Antarctica. They have survived every mass extinction for the past 300 million years. And within this extraordinary group, a handful of species stand out not just as survivors, but as the strongest, most resilient, most architecturally remarkable creatures evolution has ever produced. These are the most powerful beetles in the world, and their stories are nothing short of astonishing. Let us begin with the one that started it all in the world of scientific measurement. The horned dung beetle, known to science as Onthophagus taurus, holds what researchers have confirmed as the highest strength-to-body weight ratio of any animal ever recorded. In a landmark study conducted at the University of Buffalo, scientists placed tiny loads onto male dung beetles and measured exactly how much resistance they could withstand before giving way. The results stunned the research team. These beetles, small enough to sit on your fingernail, could pull a load equivalent to 1,141 times their own body weight. To achieve this, they use specialized rear legs that act like biological levers, transferring force with an efficiency that engineers still study today. But why would a dung beetle need to be this strong? The answer lies in one of the most brutal competitions in the animal kingdom. Male horned dung beetles fight underground, inside tunnels dug beneath manure piles where females lay their eggs. These tunnels are narrow, dark, and confined. There's no room to maneuver, no space for speed or agility. The only thing that matters is raw pushing power. The beetle that can brace itself against the tunnel walls and force its rival backward wins the right to mate. Evolution, over millions of years, sculpted these animals into living hydraulic rams. And here is the detail that almost nobody knows. The beetle with the largest horn does not always win. Smaller males without horns have evolved an entirely different strategy. Rather than fighting at all, hornless males sneak around the main tunnels and dig secret side passages, bypassing the guards entirely. This behavioral split, which scientists call a conditional mating strategy, represents one of the most sophisticated examples of evolutionary flexibility ever documented in insects. Two completely different body types, two completely different survival tactics, coexisting within the same species. Nature, it turns out, rarely puts all its strength into one solution. But the horned dung beetle is only the beginning of this story. There is another contender whose power is not measured in pulling force, but in something far more alarming. The titan beetle of the Amazon rainforest, Titanus giganteus, holds the title of the largest beetle on Earth by body mass. With a body length reaching up to 17 centimeters, this species is so large that early European explorers reportedly refused to believe the specimens they were shown were real insects. Its mandibles, the crushing jaws located at the front of its head, are powerful enough to snap a wooden pencil in half with a single bite. Researchers who have handled live specimens describe the experience as genuinely dangerous. These jaws can slice through human skin and draw blood with minimal effort. What makes the titan beetle's power even more remarkable is the mystery surrounding its adult life. Adult titan beetles do not eat at all. They live entirely off the fat reserves built up during their larval stage, which can last several years underground. During those larval years, the grubs, believed to grow as long as 30 centimeters, though never officially documented alive, tunnel through deep rainforest timber, feeding and storing the energy that will fuel the adult's entire existence. The adults emerge only to find a mate, and they do so with extraordinary urgency. This brief, powerful sprint toward reproduction is what every ounce of that biological energy is saved for. The most surprising part comes next. Despite its fearsome appearance, the titan beetle almost never attacks unless provoked. It relies instead on a startling defense mechanism. When threatened, it produces a loud, hissing screech by forcing air through its spiracles, the breathing holes along its body. Combined with its sheer size and the flash of its oversized mandibles, this acoustic warning is enough to deter most predators. Survival in the Amazon does not always require being the fastest or the most venomous. Sometimes, simply being the most intimidating creature in the room is enough. Moving from the Amazon to the forests of Asia, another beetle commands attention for an entirely different kind of power. The rhinoceros beetle, found across tropical regions of Asia, Africa, and the Americas in various forms, uses its extraordinary horn not as a weapon in the traditional sense, but as a lever and a pry bar. Some species can carry loads over 850 times their body weight, and they use this strength to battle rivals on tree branches and over feeding sites. Their horns, which in some species curve dramatically upward and split into elaborate prongs, are used to get underneath a rival, lift it clean off the surface, and throw it away. These aerial ejections can send a competing male tumbling several feet through the air, a staggering display of force when considered at scale. The ecological role of beetles, like the rhinoceros beetle, is also far greater than most people appreciate. Their larvae decompose rotting wood, returning essential nutrients to the forest floor. Without them, dead trees would accumulate, fungal overgrowth would accelerate, and the nutrient cycling that supports entire ecosystems would slow dramatically. Power, in the natural world, is not always about dominance over other animals. Sometimes it is about holding an ecosystem together from the inside. And then there is the bombardier beetle, whose power is of an entirely different and deeply unsettling kind. This small insect, found on every continent except Antarctica, carries within its abdomen a biological chemical reactor. When threatened, it combines hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide in a specialized chamber within its body, producing a rapid exothermic chemical reaction that generates a boiling spray of toxic liquid. Ejected at nearly 100 degrees Celsius, the spray is released in rapid pulses, up to 500 times per second, directed with precision using a flexible nozzle at the tip of the beetle's abdomen. The sound it produces is audible to the human ear. The pain it causes is immediate and intense. Birds, frogs, spiders, and small mammals have all been documented releasing bombardier beetles after receiving a direct hit. Scientists have studied the bombardier's internal mechanism for decades, not only because of its biological novelty, but because the pulsed jet delivery system has inspired real engineering applications in fuel injection and spray technology. A creature smaller than a grape, one that most people have never heard of, influenced the design of modern machinery. That is the quiet, persistent genius of evolution. What unites all of these extraordinary animals, from the dung beetle heaving underground to the titan beetle screaming through the rainforest dark, is a truth that wildlife science has confirmed again and again. Power does not belong to the large. It does not favor the famous. It finds its way into the smallest, most overlooked corners of the natural world and builds something remarkable there. Generation after generation for hundreds of millions of years, until the world above barely notices, and the world below continues, unstoppable, perfect, and ancient beyond comprehension. The beetles were here before the dinosaurs. They will almost certainly be here long after us, and perhaps that is the most humbling thought of all. If you found this journey through the hidden giants of the insect world as extraordinary as we did, consider sharing it with someone who still thinks small means powerless. Subscribe for more stories from the most unexpected corners of the natural world.